On the Road with Kelly and Bob is brought to you by Mueller Metal Roofs and Buildings. Made in America, made to last. Coming up on this episode...
What is it about milk that's good for us?
Well, it's high in a highly digestible protein. It's high in calcium, which we need badly. And it has a lot of different vitamins and minerals, which we need.
Hi, we're Kelly
and Bob Phillips, and we're on the perpetual road trip of America's back roads,
where the journey is always the destination.
Thank you for joining us for On the Road with Kelly and Bob. Kelly, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
What is one of the hardest jobs you can imagine?
Hardest job I can... Oh, I know. A roofer in the summer in Texas. I mean, that's just, it's too hot. Or any construction job outside. You're in the elements. You never know. Rain, sunshine. No, thank you.
Well, okay. I agree with both of those.
Okay. What about you?
Well, a dairy farmer. My entire life, I've thought owning a dairy farm would be just, it could be miserable. Because think about it. Those cows have to be milked at least twice a day, 365 days a year. You can never get away from it.
No days off.
Nope.
No, but we know a guy in Mooringsport, Louisiana, who's been doing it his whole life, and he says he wouldn't trade it.
This is Morell Dairy Farm, and it's in Morringsport, Louisiana. As my daughter calls it, is mooing sport. And
it fits.
And we milk cows, and we process our own milk, and we sell it here at the farm.
Randy Morell has spent his entire life with cows. Dairy cows, to be exact.
There's just something about the creatures he likes. Their simple lives, their basic needs, and believe it or not, their individual personalities.
Each of these cows have their own personality. Most of these cows I can walk up into the field and pet, and they all have different places they like to be scratched. They all act different, and instead of them being a number, I can tell when one's acting different than herself, and I can look, she's coming down with something, she's getting sick.
Kind of like one of your kids.
Exactly what it is. And I tell people, these are my pets, and selling milk affords me to keep them.
In fact, just like we do with our pets, every cow at Randy Morell's dairy has a name.
Well, we have Molly, we got Catherine, we have Tutu, who was born 2/22/2022. So
Tutu. Really, it's Tutu.
Well, yeah, but that'd take too long.
She'd never learn her name.
We've got Anna, we've got Precious, we've got Mary Kay, Olympia May. I get up about 2:30. I start milking about 3.
The cows don't mind you getting them out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning.
They're such creatures of habit.
They're waiting on you.
If I'm 30 minutes late,
You hear about it.
I hear about it, yes. They let me know.
When you're milking them, do you talk to them?
Oh, of course.
What do you say? Thanks for the milk?
If they cut up, I can't repeat what I say to them.
You know how some of those cows are.
You can talk ugly to them, you just got to do it in a calm voice. They come in here to milk in these stalls, and they get fed. And you can see they're all out here wanting to come in. They're waiting, they're ready to come. That's actually Molly there. She doesn't like this in the stall, and if she comes in and all these are full, she'll stand right here and moo till I run somebody out into that stall, and then she'll take that one. You can't drag her in there. We have tried everything. She will stand right here. They're ready to come in.
Randy has a few young people that help him out on the dairy farm, but he likes to do the milking himself. He has a personal relationship with his cows, and he has a personal relationship with his customers.
Most of them pass by several stores that sell milk when they make their way to Morell Dairy Farm because they like the product here better.
Some of them say that once you taste non-homogenized milk fresh from the farm, well, you're hooked.
In stocking a store shelf, and here's this lady behind me. You're the one. Ma'am? You're the one. I said, I'm the one what? You're the one that brings this in here. And I said, yes, ma'am. She says, that stuff is so addicting. Talking about my chocolate milk. She says, I have to come in here and get one every day. She says, it's worse than crack, and I've been on crack. And I said, yes, ma'am, keep buying it. And then another lady in the store, she's sitting up there, this older lady, and I was stocking, she grabbed about 6 or 7 pints. I said, you getting that for your grandkids? She goes, no, I'm getting it for me. And I said, well, I don't mean you're keeping your business, but it's cheaper by the gallon. She says, oh, you don't understand. If I buy a gallon, it's gone in 2 days. This way I limit myself to one a day.
So what is the difference in this milk and the milk you get at your local store?
Randy says there's a big difference in the way they handle the product, the way it's processed, or not. And if anyone should know what they're talking about when it comes to milk, it's Randy.
I grew up with dairy. I have degrees in dairy. And when I finished college, I had a dairy, and then I ended up having 3 dairies and a consulting business where I consulted on dairies. Then LSU in Baton Rouge approached me to take over their research farm and do a little research and teaching, so I went and did that for 15 years.
Why is it that people now want to go to a local dairy and buy milk directly from there?
Several things. The milk is processed different than a big store.
How so?
Temperature-wise. Where we vat pasteurize, it goes to 145 degrees for 30 minutes. Where in the big plant, and you can understand why, they have to run the volume, it's flash pasteurized, like a tankless hot water heater. So it goes to extreme high temperatures for a little bit, but it changes the enzymes, the proteins. That's why they have vitamin D added. It's not for your health. They have cooked it out.
Randy doesn't spend all of his time on the dairy farm.
He's committed to teaching people, especially kids, that they need to know where their food comes from.
Sadly, many don't have a clue.
I did a talk at a school not long ago, and they wanted me to do a talk on dairy and milk and all, and a little boy raised his hand, and he says, I don't drink cow's milk. I said, what do you drink? He said, I drink Kroger milk. And I said, well, keep on drinking it. I didn't want to argue with him.
But that Kroger milk comes from a cow.
How does this make you feel to be doing what you're doing and doing it successfully?
I have a good following in Shreveport with all these stores. And when I'm delivering to them, people come up and talk to me and tell me how good it is. And, I had some health issues a few months back, and some were calling me, asking me if I needed some help.
Your customers were doing that?
Customers were doing that. I think they just wanted the milk to keep coming, but still, it was, you know.
That had to make you feel good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What you're doing means something to these people.
Well, to some, yes, to some it does.
And we learned even more about these cows when we visited Morell Dairy.
And what is it about milk that's good for us? Why should we be drinking milk?
Well, it's high in a highly digestible protein. It's high in calcium, which we need. And it has a lot of different vitamins and minerals that we also need.
You mentioned that you do talks. You also have kids come out to the farm. Mm-hmm. What do they get to do out here on the farm?
Well, we show them on calves and show them the parts of the calves. And we also show them, which they're amazed at, that in the front cows don't have top teeth.
So these kids can get up close and personal and
Oh,
find
yes.
out what this cow's all about and
Exactly.
what that cow's job is.
Right. And we also have them churn some butter, and they look at the chickens, and then they put the butter that they made on crackers and eat it, and then they watch milking, and then they just look around and they see how we process and everything.
What's your hope for those kids to take away?
They have a better understanding where their food comes from, or to question where their food comes from.
Which is not bad for not just milk, but anything we put in our
Exactly.
bodies. Why did our society several years back suddenly decide that milk was bad for you? Oh, you got to drink skim milk.
Well,
What's-
that was all the fat scare. Now, all the keto-friendly diet, milk and butter is on the list for good. Skim milk is actually not better for you. Now your research shows skim milk, you will eat more drinking skim milk because you don't have your stomach doesn't give you the full feeling because there's no fat in the milk.
Tell us about these cows, because they're just not ordinary cows. They're Jersey cows.
Jersey cows, they handle heat much better in the South. And at one time, Jerseys were a prominent breed. And in the 90s, the fat scare, they do have more fat in their milk, but the protein's 18% higher. The calcium's 15% higher. That's why a lot of anytime you have specialty cheeses and stuff like that, they're going to use Jersey milk.
Okay, being a dairy farmer may be one of the hardest jobs.
It is
But
one of the
I
hardest
have
jobs.
to say, aren't those cows cute?
Why am I not?
They're
Why am I not
so
surprised
cute,
that that's the
especially
thing
when they're
that?
little.
Yeah, no, I'm just not surprised that that's what you took away from all of this was how
Well, he
cute.
names all of their cows.
He does name them all, and his customers do.
Yes.
But he did not have a Kelly cow.
Maybe there is a Kelly cow in the near future.
Hey, thanks for listening to On the Road with Kelly and Bob. You can listen to more episodes by downloading the free Odyssey app. You can listen anytime, anywhere.